So go into surgery, super scared, go out. Wake up in the worst pain of my life. They just broke all the bones in my chest. I have a bar through it. I've got a pump in my chest, just blood coming out. And essentially, I'm immobilized. I can't move, and it hurts to breathe or do anything. And then I'm like talking to my family and Jenna, my wife, for a bit. And then I'm like, so what's going on? And she shows me the Amazon account. And I'm like, there's hijackers on all the listings. What did you do? She's like, oh, I didn't know what to look for. And I'm like, oh no. You're supposed to protect this. I can't do anything right now. So now I'm in there. I've invested everything I have, went $100,000 into debt. All the bones in my chest broken. My elbow's broken. And now I've got hijackers on all my listings, so I can't sell anything. There's like 1,000 products a day going out that are going to make people go blind. And I'm just like, well, I'm fucked. Okay, I am not going to, I'm going to get sued. People are going to go blind. I'm not going to make any money. And I'm going to be completely bankrupt. And now what am I gonna do? So I said, give me the laptop and let me go to work and figure this out. And all the nurses and everybody was like, you can't, you need to sit back and you need to just rest. Like, your body needs to rest. And I said, I need to fix this, because otherwise my body can rest and fix itself later. Otherwise I'm just gonna be bankrupt and like my life is gonna suck. And my life already sucks right now, so let it suck for another day or something and let me figure this out. So essentially, they all like kind of hesitant, like whatever, like gave me some morphine, and it was like, okay, give me the laptop. I can't move, I barely move my arms, everything's broken. So I'm sitting there kind of like, you know, doing like, barely can even move to like, I can't type certain keys because I can't move my arms or anything. And sitting there, I essentially had to figure out, going back and forth with Amazon lawyers the entire time, trying to figure out how to prove that without a trademark or anything, why these people are wrong, because it's not very easy to actually prove if somebody is a counterfeit, and Amazon does not have good measures taken into place. And finally, after 14 hours, I was able to figure it out to get all of the people taken off of my listing and protect my listings. So everything was a nightmare, but I was able to get through it. But I just remember sitting there and just crying, and it was like, nothing is working, and nothing was working for that whole first day. And I called my neighbor who was a lawyer, and he told me, I don't have to worry about people suing me because of the counterfeits. So at least I was relieved from that, but was able to get all the people taken off the listing and was able to sell again, and things were good. Well, they were good for about a day. Okay, so you know, of course, things now, the grace period gets progressively slower and slower to the point where, you know, maybe later it's about 6 hours before shit hits the fan again. So, you know, I got maybe 2 days of, I got maybe 2 days of grace in the hospital. I think they bring in a magician and a dog. Yeah, so I got that. That was great. I kind of remember the dog. So I come back to the house after my surgery, and basically nothing's been done. It's like, sweet, great, thanks guys. Anyways, go on, and then now I can't even be at my house because I can't sleep at all now. Not only do I have broken elbow, broken chest, I can't even get up off of a bed. I can't sit, I can't lay anything. So now I'm just bubble wrapping myself and essentially like sitting kind of in a massage chair. That kind of felt good for a little bit, but had no chance. The day I get home from the hospital is Prime Day. So as of this point, it was the largest day in e-commerce history, Prime Day at that time. And essentially it was the solar eclipse. It was about a month away. So this was July 14th or something around there. So around 40 days away. And this was going to be a huge day. I was going to sell a bunch. I wake up and I sold $500,000. It's like, oh wow, whoa, what is going on? This is great. I was like celebrating, I was dancing around the house, even though I probably shouldn't have been because I was in so much pain. It was so great. And then I look at my sales, and it's like one person bought $500,000 of stuff. It's like, why would one person buy $500,000 of product? I looked, and it was definitely some foreign name, and it's just like, oh great, somebody just bought all my product. They're either gonna take it and not send it in and just return it all, or say there was something wrong, and essentially just trying to sabotage me. And then guess what happens right after they buy all my product? Oh, they start selling on all my listings. So now I don't have any inventory, and now they're selling on all my listings, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do now? All right, so I was freaking out. I was like, I have to get these orders canceled. So I called into Amazon and I called up customer support, and we were able to cancel all these orders. But then I said, hey, you need to take all these other people off of my listings. They're making counterfeits. They're gonna make people go blind. I had to have said, you're going to make people go blind at least 38 times on the phone call. Alright, so I told Amazon, you guys need to take these listings off because you're going to make people get hurt. You're hurting me, you're hurting other people. The whole platform is going to suffer. And they said, sorry sir, there's nothing that we can do. Maybe I could send an email to another team and maybe they'll do something someday. Nothing ever happened. I told them on the phone, I said, there's going to be a national news story about this. You're going to make people go blind. You're going to get sued. Sir, there's nothing we can do. Well, they should have fucking listened to me. So I got the people taken off of my listings over time, and everything ended up getting solved from that. But they didn't take off all the other counterfeiters, because at this point, about 95% of all the solar eclipse glasses being sold on the website were from the bad manufacturers that I had already gone through in the past. And I tried warning them about this, but Amazon simply did not want to listen to me. So I went and talked to some certification agencies and sent them the bad products myself, as well as talking to other agencies. And over time, they ended up talking to NASA and everything, and then NASA released a statement, and then guess what? There was national news stories everywhere. Amazon selling fake eclipse glasses. Don't trust Amazon, blah, blah, blah.
NASA and the American Astronomical Society advise you to use solar eclipse glasses from recommended manufacturers. Amazon has not received confirmation from the supplier of your order that they sourced the item from a recommended manufacturer.
Amazon is out in front of this.
That's right. And listen, the risk is damage or potentially loss of your vision. The danger is very real.
Then came the letter from Amazon advising her not to use them.
So what do you know? Amazon freaks out. And what do? They send out an email to everyone saying, we're taking down all of your listings because people aren't selling safe solar eclipse glasses. I was like, oh, I told you guys this for months. So now all my listings are taken down. I've still invested all of my money. This is great. What am I going to do? Now it's getting progressively further into July and all my listings are going to be taken down. But I did a calculation and I was still able to get one more order out of my supplier. And essentially I realized, okay, based off of this timeline, this is my last shot at buying this. This is my once in a lifetime opportunity. I think I can still figure this out. So I went and I bought 200,000 more glasses. Essentially spent an extremely large amount of money, took on a big risk. But I realized that at the rate that they were selling and how much money I was making, it was a very largely disproportionate amount of money to be made, and that I was going to take the risk and figure it out, even though it seemed like it was a stupid thing and most people wouldn't do it. But that's what I do with my life. And basically, I say, where are most people gonna give up and not keep going? And that's where I keep going, because I know that I'll be the last man standing, and I'm gonna put in the hard work to get past those times where everybody else is gonna give up. So all my listings had just gotten shut down and it seemed like all was down, but they sent out an email and they requested certifications from everybody. Well, guess what? I had the certifications while everybody else didn't. They got it from the wrong manufacturers. I'd put in that hard time of work to find the right ones. So what they ended up doing was they let me sell and they took everybody else down. So at this point, right before they take everyone down, I'm doing about $50,000 to $70,000 a day in sales. And then it ramps up right after this when they kick out all of the bad people who didn't have the actual certified glasses. And guess what? The entire nation procrastinated. And now all the people found out, hey, they have bad solar eclipse glasses and they have to come buy from the people who actually did the work and had the right glasses. So this is when it got crazy now, because it's like, all right, guys, we have more orders than we can fulfill. I need more people. We need more space. All right, all summer I've been protecting the basement, because the basement was the one place where I could get away from everybody and have a little bit of peace of mind. All right, so essentially we had filled the upstairs, we had filled the main floor. All right, we even had people working at home at their places. Okay, and then it was like, now we have to choose. Are we going to put people in the bedroom, or are we going to put people in the basement? I was like, we need to put people in the bedroom, Jenna, and then they can just work there during the day, and then we can sleep there during the night. It was like, no. And then I talked to my sister about it. She's like, you better not put it in the bedroom. It's like, okay, fine. I'll give up the basement. All right. So give up the basement. We get like 8 people in the basement. So I started hiring people left and right. So we just keep putting out Craigslist ads, and then we're like, this Craigslist hiring even takes too long. So Johnny's like, I have a friend. We hire his best friend. He's like, I have a best friend too. Hire Johnny's friend. Johnny's best friend's friend. Johnny's best friend's best friend. Okay. Then we hired Johnny's cousin. Then we hired Johnny's cousin's girlfriend. Then we hired Johnny's, who else? Johnny's mom, Johnny's dad, Johnny's grandpa. All right, Johnny is like HR manager. He's got the just craziest family. He's like, I know a guy. Johnny is a champion. Oh yeah, then we started like, okay, I need people for my fraternity. And this was like, we got somebody, and then it was like, I got a girlfriend, and it's like, I got a friend, she's got a sister. And it's just like, it ended up getting crazy. I think total we had 35, 40 people helping us with all of this when said and done. So now this is chaos, okay? I have 35 people when said and done doing all of this. I have 100 different products. All of them are different variations. So essentially we have like 20 products essentially, but now we have 100 different variations of this. Like, okay, 2 blue, 3 green, and 2 flags, okay, is one, all right? And then now that has a sticker on it, and it's a sticker that means nothing. It's like F, J, K, Y, and P, and then that goes with that, all right? And then, so imagine this, like, taking all these 20 products, and then there's 100 variations and 100 stickers, and you're sending in tens of thousands of these a day, and you're trying to manage 35 people doing this with a broken chest and a broken elbow, and you can't make one mistake, because if you make one mistake on these shipments, your account's gonna get banned and it's all gonna go away. And it's like, holy shit, how do I manage this? So essentially, 3D printed everything, made like all these label stands. We had all these tables. I cut holes in the tables. We put the 3D printed things for those in there. And then we had all these different charts, all these like double checking. We got like a professional scale. I got all the weight of everything down to 1 gram. And then essentially I made a giant calculation. So essentially what you could do is you could go and you could weigh the box and you could know exactly what was in there. And then we had this double checking process, and essentially we didn't end up with errors at the end of the day. It was this very complex, essentially a 6 Sigma process, I think is what it's called in manufacturing, is what I did. So I actually learned something in school that I've used in real life. So college isn't a complete waste. All right, so things were going great with the Amazon account, but some things weren't going that great actually. So some of the listings weren't able to get up and sell back on Amazon. It's just they wanted some types of certifications, and some of our products didn't have the certifications. They were safe. They followed all the scientific standards, but they didn't have exactly what Amazon was looking for. And they procrastinated and they said, okay, we only want this certification. So like, whatever. We needed to start a Shopify store to actually go and sell all of this stuff. So what we did was I said, all right, Iman, you're gonna start a Shopify store, and we're gonna run Facebook ads, and we're gonna do this and sell it. So we set up one ad, we ran the Shopify store. All of a sudden, next day we sell like $1,000. So it was like, wow, that's great. Increase the ad spend. We're selling $3,000 a day in like a couple of days. I was like, wow, this is easy. This is fun. All right. Well, I mean, granted, it was a very limited time opportunity. It's not like you could just go start a Shopify store and start doing $3,000 a day. Don't get me wrong about that. But it was easy for us because of the opportunity. So it's in August now, and we're doing about $100,000 a day. Things are blowing up. It's absolutely crazy. So some of our listings were shut down and we had to make Shopify stores like I told you about. But some of the listings that we had to do, essentially we took those stuff that was in Amazon and that we currently had, and we had 200,000 glasses that were packaged already, that were ready to send to Amazon. But because our listings were shut down, now we had to repackage them and make them into new listings. So what we had to do now was unpackage 200,000 glasses in 48 hours and repackage them in that same 48-hour period, which was just undoable by the amount of people that we currently had in the current space. It was just like, it was just completely unthinkable. Like, I thought of it and I said, this would be absolutely crazy, and this could change, like, we could make so much more money and really blow up the business if we do this, but I just can't fathom doing it. So I had to think of what was like the possibly craziest thing that I could think of. I was like, let's get a mansion. All right, we need a mansion. It's gonna be great. So I started looking up mansions on Airbnb. I was like, ooh, great. But then my friend was like, no, dude, we don't need a mansion. Okay, let's go this. He knows somebody who had a party bus company. So he's like, we could go use the party bus garage. And then what we could do is he knew a bunch of nightclub promoters. So essentially the people that hand out flyers when you go to a nightclub and you're like, why is this on my car? Well, we know those people. So we got a bunch of those people to come. We rented out the party bus place, got a bunch of tables, just filled the place there, got all these nightclub promoters to come in, working 24/7. We're working 48 hours, unpackaged, and then repackaged all of them in that period. And we got it done. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So then we had to go, and now we had to ship these in and overnight them, because the way it works is you have to ship into Amazon, you got to get it there, they have to process it and everything. And then now it takes some time to do that, and then it needs to be sold to the Amazon customers, and that process takes time. And we were out of time. So we were out of time, and we had to nail this deadline to a T, and we did it. Then I overnighted this, we got it to FedEx right at the last minute. So I sent this in and I threaded the needle. It's like, good job guys. But FedEx then said, oh, we have a power outage. So now all my packages are stuck in Memphis, Tennessee, and essentially there's nothing that I can do. And I'm like, what's going on? I had to get this deadline. You guys couldn't mess it up. So I called them up. I said, you guys got to get it there. Can't. Power outage. So I said, all right, I'm coming with a jet, and I'm suing you guys for $1 million, because that's $1 million of inventory, and I'm gonna bring a private jet and get it myself, or you guys are gonna get it there. So essentially, they're like, we'll see what we can do. So my friend called up his mom. She had friends apparently. They're like, yeah, we could get a jet. It's gonna be like 50 grand, but we could get you guys, fly it there, bring it, and do everything you need. It was like, well, am I really gonna spend 50 grand on a private jet? And I started calculating what this is all worth. It's like, I'm gonna spend 50 grand to go make sure those packages get there one day earlier, but it's worth $1 million. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. But then I called FedEx and they're like, don't worry, we can do it. Are you sure? Yeah, we can solve the problem. All right, cool. So then I go and I look at it. Guess what? They didn't fucking do it. Sweet. All right. Well, so they told me that they were gonna do it and they didn't do it. Of course, great. You know, they just told me to make me happy. So I was like, what am I gonna do now? So it gets into Amazon, and now I know it's all gonna be late. So my back's up against the wall, and now I just have $1 million of inventory that's completely worthless. And essentially what I had to do now was, well, yet again, just like last time, what is the craziest thing that you could think of that could potentially solve your problem? Most of the time we'll think of these in daily life, but you won't actually go and do them. But if you were to really treat life with a sense of urgency, and that you had to do this to make your dreams come true or to make anything happen, you can actually go and do things that you think are impossible. And this is when I said, all right, well, I just need to cold email someone at Amazon that's really high up and get them to fix this problem, which is like pretty much unheard of if you know anything about Amazon, selling on Amazon. And I'm getting 1,000 angry emails a day saying, where are my glasses? Where's my tracking? I'm like, I don't know, I shipped it out.